Hey everybody, welcome back to Rattle Together. I'm Becca Burns, and this is where we achieve success through respect, ambition, tenacity, trustworthiness, loyalty, and empathy. This is episode 16, and it is our science episode. Very excited, guys. Guess what happened this morning while I was in a meeting? All of a sudden, I turned around, and what did I see? A butterfly! Isn't it so cool? Now, its wings are closed right now. Maybe it'll, oh, guys, it's opening its wings for us. It's flapping its wings. And the color you can see is orange and black and white on the top of it. And underneath, guys, actually underneath was all brown, all different shades of brown earlier, but there are some reds and oranges starting to show themselves. This is super cool. There, his wings are open. And if you can, I don't know if you can see him. I'm not looking at what you're looking at it right now, but hopefully you can see him all stretched out from the underside. As you can see down at the bottom, I have a sponge with sugar water on it for him to eat, and his chrysalis, or her chrysalis, the chrysalis that the butterfly came out of, is on the bottom next to it. So maybe one of our other friends will join us soon, but this is the guy who came out first. Remember, or made a chrysalis first. Remember, he made a chrysalis, or she made a chrysalis on the bottom of the cup, and we were like, what's going on? Is that caterpillar even alive anymore? And we got all worried, and it turned out that it was a chrysalis, and now it is our first butterfly. I'm so excited. Okay, so, oh, and I'm wearing my milk tag, my milk plastic dinosaur necklace that I made. Okay. Let's get going. So I'm going to do our riddle on both the science and the craft episodes, but it will be the same riddle. So to answer the riddle from yesterday, I said, I am an odd number. Take away one letter and I become even. What number am I? Well, letter was the key word there. So when I write the word even, E-V-E-N, it's kind of like the number 7, which is spelled S-E-V-E-N. And if I take away the S, I have the word even. So 7, take away one letter, becomes even. Pretty cool, huh? Our next riddle for today, I'm going to double check because I forgot what I was going to ask you guys. Oh, this one is a good one. What is so fragile that just by saying its name, it breaks? Did I say that right? What is so fragile that just by saying its name breaks it? Or just saying its name breaks it? I said that very strangely every time. All right, so that's the riddle to be thinking about for tomorrow. I think I will check in tomorrow because we got to find out if more of these chrysalids, more butterflies come out of their chrysalids. And so we will check in for that, and I will give you the answer to this riddle tomorrow. Now, this is, of course, as usual, Miss Burns' second try at this video. And I already added the butterfly to our butterfly life cycle, but I'm going to bring it down and show you what I did. So, we have our butterfly life cycle, and you guys we left off with chrysalis. So the next thing you're going to do is draw a curved line with an arrow to point at the next spot, which is the butterfly. Now, to make my butterfly, I did 2 big circles right next to each other, 2 smaller circles, medium-sized circles, right underneath those, and I did 4 teeny tiny circles on the tips of those. So how many circles altogether is that? 8. You're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not counting the spots that I drew on it. Then I made the body and some antennae. And then I decorated it. Now remember, you can decorate your butterfly however you want, but whatever you do to one side, you have to do the same thing to the other side because butterflies are symmetrical. That means that they're the same on both sides. And then, once you're done with that, if you need to pause the video so that you can see it and copy it, go ahead. Then you're going to draw a curved line with an arrow back to the eggs. Because what happens in the life cycle is the butterfly would then lay its eggs, and then the eggs would hatch, and there would be caterpillars or larvae. And then the caterpillars would create chrysalids, and then the butterflies would come out of the chrysalids, and then they'd lay eggs, and blah, 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 blah. So that's why it's called cycle, because the cycle is a circle, over and over and over again. And we already spelled butterfly up here. Remember, it's a compound word, butter, B-U-T-T-E-R, and fly, F-L-Y. So I just wrote that down here, butterfly, to label my butterfly. So I hope that you've now completed your butterfly life cycle, and you can hang that up in your house. You can color it in, make it look beautimous. We should start naming our butterflies as they... Uh-oh, where did I put the pin? There it is. Oh no, I dropped it, so I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to hang it out there. Whew. My goodness. I have to remember to find that pin so that nobody steps on it. It's somewhere on the floor. Oh, look, it's right here. Ta-da! I'm going to stick it in the wall over here so it doesn't get stepped on. All right, so that was our now butterfly check-in, and it was exciting. All right, and now we're going to check in on our stalactite/stalagmite experiment, or project that we started last week. I think it was last week already. And remember, I thought it was unsuccessful, and then we went back to it, and it turned out that it was successful. Well, it's forming even more crystals, or even more, there's even more buildup of the baking soda. And this is hard, as you can see. It stayed in this same shape that it was hooked onto the cup with. And it's starting to crawl across the yarn. So what's happening, remember, is that the water with the baking soda in it is going up the yarn, and as it dries, it's leaving little bits of baking soda that are building up on top of themselves over and over again, forming those. Oops. I wonder if it's focusing on it. See that? Kind of mushroomy, or looks like cauliflower. And I'm going to put this back in its spot. Now today, for science, we're going to talk about the water cycle. I'm going to tilt the camera down, but for this project, well, to participate in learning about the water cycle, all you need is a paper and pencil, or pen, or crayons, or whatever. But to do the whole project, you would want a, what is this called? The Ziploc bag. I just have white paper inside it just so that I can lean on it and see what I'm doing. You're going to want water that you're going to pour into the bag later. You're going to fill the bag with water to just like about here later. And a permanent marker. It has to be a permanent marker so that it writes on the plastic. Now, and I checked this one to make sure that it would. Just in the corner I made a line because I tried it with regular Crayola markers and the color just beaded up on top of the plastic. It wouldn't actually leave a mark. So it has to be a permanent marker if you're using the plastic. You're going to need water later, and if you want, you can use food coloring. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to tilt the camera down. You're not going to see my face for most of this video because I want you to see what we're doing. And I'm going to draw sideways, and I will turn it back and forth so you can see as I'm going. So the water cycle, guys, just like with the butterfly life cycle, a cycle goes in a circle, around and around and around. And in our world, where does water come from? Right, lakes, rivers. But how does it get in the lakes and rivers? How does it get in ponds? How does it get there? How does it get into the puddles that you see on the ground? Sorry, I'm coming down here. It gets there because it comes out of the sky as rain. Or it comes down as snow and it melts, or it comes down as hail and it melts. So precipitation, that's what that's called. Precipitation. I'm going to find my precipitation card. I made cards so that to help you. Precipitation. That is what it's called when it rains or snows or sleets or hails. Precipitation comes down from the sky, from the clouds, right? And it goes onto the ground, whew, where it collects. So we're going to start, I'm going to be drawing and talking, and you guys are going to draw with me. We're going to make a very simple picture together. That's what we're going to start with. So I want you to start by making some trees over here. I'm going to make some of these kinds of trees that look like just fluff ball with, whoop. That's one tree. And then I'm going to make an evergreen tree next to it. Those are my trees. And they're on the ground. And then that ground goes down a little bit. So I want you to do that. You can put flowers, you can put whatever you want on the ground. You can put a little bird in a nest in the tree. And behind that, we're going to make mountains now. So our mountains are going to be like big triangles. They're going to come up and come all the way down. And then I'm going to make a second one up and all the way down. And so that you get the idea that they are big mountains, I'm going to do like this. They're snow-covered mountains. Okay? And now down at the bottom here, we're going to make waves. Because we've got water down here. Those mountains are right next to some water. Can you see them? And then in the sky, we need a sun. So I'm going to put a sun over here. And for a sun, I'm just going to make a circle. And I'm going to make some triangles. Triangles, triangles, triangles. There's my beautiful sun. And then, of course, what does the precipitation come out of? It comes out of clouds. So we need some clouds up at the top. So, clouds. Now, I am not a meteorologist, and I don't remember which type of clouds to draw. So I just made generic clouds. All right, so we already talked about precipitation. So we are going to write the word precipitation going down because the precipitation comes down. And we're going to make some precipitation. So we're going to make some little, these are going to be raindrops. If you have a blue or a white, then you can do that too. So coming down is precipitation. Now remember how to spell that. P-R-E-C-I-P-I, precipitation, T-A-T-I-O-N. And I'm going to write it going this way. P-R-E, sip, C-I-P. Ooh, this is messy. I-tation. Precipitation. See how it's going down to show that the precipitation is going down. Now the precipitation lands on the mountains, and if it's snow, it makes snow, and if it's rain, it just, what does it do when it hits something that's way up high like that and at this angle? Right, it flows down. You'll see little streams going down. Little streams of water. Let's make a little stream. That's my little stream. And this water that's coming down is called runoff because it's running off the mountain. And runoff is a compound word just like butterfly. So it's run, R-U-N, off, O-F-F. So we're going to put runoff right here. R-U-N-O-F-F. It's going this way. It's flowing down. So precipitation is going down, runoff is going down. I just added some arrows. Now, once it gets down and it ends up in this, we're going to say this is a lake. What is it doing? It collects there, and when the water collects in one area, it builds up into a massive amount of water, and that's called collection. So, C-O-L-L-E-C-T-I-O-N, collection. So we're going to write that in the water, if we can. C-O-L-L-E-C-T-I-O-N, collection. Now, it stopped raining, the water's collected in this area, the sun comes out, it's hot. What happens next? Well, it's something that you don't usually see. Have you ever boiled water or watched boiling water on the stove or seen a teapot? You'll see it looks like steam coming up. It is steam coming up out of it. The water is evaporating into the air. It's going up into the air. So the water, I'm going to make squiggly lines that represent, squiggly lines with arrows on top. This represents the water evaporating, turning into little invisible bits of steam. Bits of steam sounds weird, but, and going up into the sky. So, I just knocked my cards onto the floor. Evaporation. This is how we spell evaporation. E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N. And I am going to turn my bag this way so that I can write it going up. E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N. Now, notice that in the word evaporation is the word vapor, because it has water vapors. Sorry, going up in it. V-A-P-O-R spells vapor. So you can remember evaporation is vapors, steam, coming up. Okay? So we have our precipitation comes down, and then it runs off the mountain, and it collects in a lake or a river or a stream, and then it evaporates into the sky. And then what happens? It creates clouds by condensing. So clouds are condensation. They are, have you ever seen, and you're going to see with this project, when little water droplets form on the side of a glass on a hot day, that is condensation. So that's what we're going to write up here with the clouds, because the clouds are condensation, and then when they are fully saturated and it can't hold any more water, that's when it precipitates. So condensation. Let's write it. I'm turning my bag so I can write it. I'm going to write it at the top. I made my clouds a little bit too big. I'm going to put it right here next to the clouds. C-O-N-D, oh no, E-N, and I'm going to put a hyphen, hyphen-sation, S-A-T-I-O-N. I had to put a hyphen because I couldn't fit it, see? So condensation, that's my clouds. So I'm going to put a little arrow to the clouds. Condensation. So with this, now the thing that makes this be a science project and not just a science lesson in the water cycle is that we are going to put some water in our bag, and then you're going to tape your bag to a window that gets lots of sun. I don't have a window that gets lots of sun in my office, but you're going to tape it to a window that has lots of sun at a slight angle, and the angle will be like this, so that the water will collect more on this side, so that you can see that the water collects over here. And you'll get to see, you kind of get to see it in action, because you'll see the water as it gets warm. Sorry, I'm going to try and do this without making too much of a mess. So it'll kind of be like this. Should I put a little bit more in? I think that's good. I'll put a little bit of food coloring in so you can see it. What color do you think I should do? Blue. Yeah, because blue is the color that we all associate with water. Water doesn't really have a color though, does it? Ooh, I'm mixing it by making it go back and forth. And then I'm going to close my bag up, seal it like this. Let a little bit of the air out. And I will hang it with a piece of tape to a window. I might hang it in Mr. Bat's office because he has a big window that faces the outside. So you'll hang that in your window, and you'll get to see as the water starts to do things, as it starts to evaporate up and condense at the top of the bag and then roll back down the bag. So that would be really cool to see. All right. So again, as usual, please email me, send me pictures, show me what you're working with, show me all the things that you're doing. Love to see it. I hope that you enjoyed that. My email is rburns, R-B-U-R-N-S, @KUSD.org, rburns@KUSD.org. You can email me there. You can find us on Rattle Together on Facebook. So you just go to Facebook, type in Rattle Together, or it's fb.me/rattletogether, R-A-T-T-L-E, 2-T-O, get, G-E-T, her, H-E-R. You can also message me there by just clicking the message button, or m.me/rattletogether, period. So rattletogether, period. I hope you are all happy and healthy and safe. I love ya. Mwah.